Hello and welcome to a new video, and today we are taking an ICE from Würzburg to Amsterdam with a change of trains in Düsseldorf. And here on the map you can see our route today, and here we can see our ICE3 arriving at the station of Würzburg, and from here we're going to Düsseldorf. The first ICE3 of today is a modernized version of the fastest ICE in Germany. And as the tickets were rather expensive in first class, we're in second class today. Usually if you're traveling by train in Germany, first class is not that much more than second class. In first class, seat reservation is included. In second class you need to pay $4.50 per person for a seat reservation. So usually if you calculate this, there's just a difference about 5 to 15 or 20 euros, but this time it was almost about double the price, so we decided to go second class. In second class, the seats are comfortable as well, there's enough space, you have a table and one power socket. The disadvantage is there's only one power socket for two persons, so you need to share this one, and also the tables are not extendable. In first class you can pull the table closer to you. That's very helpful if you want to work with the laptop, because here you cannot fully open the laptop due to the back of the seat in front of you being not completely straight. Our first stop after Würzburg is Aschaffenburg. After that we are going without a stop through Hanau, crossing the River Main, and here in Frankfurt we are crossing the river again to reach the main station of Frankfurt. Frankfurt main station is a terminus station. That means that we will have a change of direction, and now we'll be sitting backwards in the train. And here we are leaving Frankfurt main station already again, seeing some parked trains here in the background. And now we are crossing the Main one more time to reach the long distance station of the airport of Frankfurt. Frankfurt Airport does have two stations, a long distance station and a regional station. And all ICEs are stopping in the long distance stations. There are almost only ICEs stopping here, just a very few regional trains that use the long distance station instead of the regional station. And after that we are following the Autobahn, the highway A3, but we are going much faster than the cars, as we are going almost all the way to Cologne with about 300 kilometers per hour, making this the fastest railway line of Germany, and it will take us less than 1 hour to get from Frankfurt to Cologne. Between those two cities the train is by far the fastest mode of transport. Even planes will take way longer if you calculate the time that you need at the airport, and also cars are taking much longer as we are following the Autobahn, and it's not possible to go 300 kilometers per hour all the time on one of the most crowded highways in Germany, so we are way faster than the cars as well. Here we are already close to Cologne. We are not stopping at the main station of Cologne, because this would mean that we need to cross the River Rhine and then either taking a slower railway line to get to our next stop or to change directions again, and instead we're stopping at Köln-Messe-Deutz. This station is just directly opposite of the main station, just on the other bank of the River Rhine. So if you need to change between those two stations, it is a ride with a local train of about 2 minutes, or you can even walk between those two stations. Here we are reaching the station of Düsseldorf, and here we are leaving our train, changing for yet another ICE3 that will bring us to Amsterdam. And if you look closely, you can see a difference between the first and the second ICE, because this ICE has the logo of the Nederlandse Spoorwegen and not of Deutsche Bahn on it, as it is a cooperation between Deutsche Bahn and Nederlandse Spoorwegen. And also the interior is different because this train is not modernized yet. It has also comfortable seats and about the same features, but surprisingly there was less space. You just saw that there was less space in the unmodernized version, which is quite unusual. Maybe it was just because of the particular seats, but otherwise they are more or less having the same features. Here we are reaching the station of Oberhausen, which is the last station in Germany. From here on we are now going without stops through Wesel and Emmerich, and then we will be crossing the border to the Netherlands, where our next stop will be in the city of Arnhem. This is not a high-speed line anymore, so we are going way slower, not 300 kilometers per hour anymore. That is just a stretch between Frankfurt and Cologne, and here we are now on a regular railway line. The landscape is not too spectacular. Obviously in the Netherlands everything is flat, and the same applies for this part of Germany until we reach the border. Meanwhile, here we are already in the Netherlands. Here we are crossing the river Geldische IJssel, and soon after we are reaching the city of Arnhem, where we will have our next stop and the first stop in the Netherlands. The station of Arnhem is very impressive. It's a very modern station with a very interesting architecture. Just like many stations in the bigger cities of the Netherlands, the stations of Utrecht and Amsterdam, and especially the station of Rotterdam Centraal, are also very interesting, just like this one here in Arnhem. We are now also going to the station of Utrecht. This will be our next stop in the Netherlands. We are passing now the so-called Hoge Veluwe, an especially beautiful part of the Netherlands, and we are passing through the station of Ede-Wageningen without a stop, heading to Utrecht, where we will stop at the central station. This ICE is operating mostly every 2 hours between Frankfurt and Amsterdam, sometimes only between Cologne and Amsterdam, and it's usually very crowded as there are only trains every 2 hours and there's a high demand. So if you want to travel this train, make sure to book it well ahead of your journey to make sure to get reasonable prices. Here we are at the station of Utrecht Centraal. As you can see, yet another station with a very interesting architecture. And now we're going non-stop to the main station of Amsterdam. And as I said, these trains are crowded and it's sometimes hard to get cheap tickets for it. So if the train appears to be too expensive and you need to travel between those two countries, you can also use regional trains to cross the border, for example from Düsseldorf to Venlo, or from Aachen to Maastricht, and also from Emmerich to Arnhem, for example. And there are some more connections that you could use, and then you can take an intercity train in the Netherlands. These might be cheaper, so you might want to consider this if the ICE is too expensive. Here we meanwhile reach the city center of Amsterdam, and we're going right through the heart of the city with the train to reach the main station, passing some bigger stations without stop and going parallel with the metro of Amsterdam. As we are passing many stations in the south of Amsterdam, it might be more useful to leave the train in Utrecht and take a regional train if your destination is the south of Amsterdam. But also from the main station, obviously, you have a lot of good connections to all parts of Amsterdam. You could take the metro, the tram or the bus, and of course also some regional trains. And the Netherlands does have a quite good public transport system. Not the cheapest, but with a lot of trains, usually every 30 minutes for regional and intercity trains. And on most lines, several different lines add up to an even higher frequency of trains. So for example, between Amsterdam and Utrecht there's way more trains than every 30 minutes. So in my opinion, the Netherlands, they do have one of the best public transport systems in Europe. And here we are at the main station of Amsterdam, Amsterdam Central. And this is where we left our train. It was also the final destination of the train. And my next video will also start in Amsterdam, but at a different location. And here you will see now when this next video will be published. Also, you can see, as always, the name of the song. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider to comment, like, subscribe or share a video link. And I hope to see you in my next video.